come election day. Ahmed Idris, Aljazeera, Maiduguri, northeast Nigeria.
Well, Aminu Gamawa is a conflict resolution analyst, and he's joining me from Boston in the US. Very good to have you with us on Al Jazeera. So the Nigerian army has made gains in the north against Boko Haram, and of course security is a major issue in this election. How important is this election to ensure that security, that the Nigerian army continues with these gains against Boko Haram going forward?
Well, thank you for having me on the show. This election is no doubt very important, not only for Nigerians, but only for the international community. And it is important largely for three main reasons. One, Nigeria is the biggest economy in Africa, the most populous country, and the biggest democracy. So what happened in Nigeria would have an impact not only in Nigeria, but in other countries. International investors and international community are interested in seeing whether Nigeria will be able to organize a free, fair, credible and feasible election. Secondly, the election is happening at a time when Nigeria is facing many economic and security challenges. Economic in the sense that there is fall in the oil prices, which has affected the economy. There is also massive corruption in the government. A security situation in the northeast, as you pointed out, is a main challenge. In fact, the election was supposed to take place on the 14th of February, but it had to be postponed because of security situation in the northeast. The third reason why this election is crucial and important is because for the first time Nigeria has a very powerful opposition party, and according to some polls there may likely be change in government. And from the statements we are hearing from politicians, both from the ruling party and the opposition, there have been series of inflammatory comments, and bearing in mind the fact that Nigeria has a history of violence during election, many people are worried and concerned. So yes, the security situation in the northeast is very important, and we hope that the government will be able to secure the areas before next week.
And given all these reasons that make this election so very important, as you mentioned, not just to the Nigerian people, but to the continent of Africa, how important is it that these elections, or how confident are you that these elections will be free, fair and peaceful?
Well, one important thing to keep in mind is that the Nigerian the National Independent Electoral Commission, the body responsible for conducting election in Nigeria, has been planning and preparing for this election for a long time. And this commission is chaired by someone who is very credible, who is known to be very independent, and we hope that the government will give the Independent National Electoral Commission all the support it needed to conduct the election. I think one important thing that will determine whether the elections will be peaceful or not is whether the election is free and fair. I think the government and the international community must ensure that these elections are free, fair and credible. And also the government must desist from using security and law enforcement in harassing the opposition and in giving the ruling party undue advantage. And of course, the two leading candidates, General Muhammadu Buhari and the incumbent president Goodluck Jonathan, have signed an agreement promising to call on their supporters to ensure that the election is peaceful and the election is also credible. So we hope that the stakeholders involved will respect the law and would ensure that no comments that would incite violence are tolerated at this moment. And we hope that the Independent National Electoral Commission will be given all the necessary support it needed.
Thank you very much. That is Aminu Gamawa, conflict resolution analyst, joining us from Boston. Thank you. Now, the jailed son of a former Senegalese president has been chosen to run for president by the main opposition party. Karim Wade was chosen by 257 of the 268 delegates to be Senegal's Democratic Party presidential candidate. The move comes as Senegal's anti-corruption court is expected to deliver its verdict in his corruption trial on Monday.